3,
Who's on the
2,
server that's not in the
1.
Nerd! Nerd!
What the fuck? Once upon a time, there existed a Minecraft server that had it all. Architects and tryhards, degenerates, griefers and hackers. There were countless bustling cities and towns the likes of which this block game has never seen. And most of all, this degenerate server had one thing that separated itself from the rest. The spawn was entirely unprotected. This was JSchlatt's subscriber Minecraft server. Everything in the beginning was relatively peaceful. Upon joining the server, you would get a welcome gift of being killed at least 10 times in a row and being called a newcomer. The superior creativity of the players led to unique and cultured areas of the server being built, such as Israel, Israel Underground, the slums, things that are not funny, the Bass Pro Pyramid, which was in Cock and Ball Town, an expensive, over-budget subway project, about 100 f***ing statues, China, featuring and much more. Over time, these areas developed to be much bigger, while some other areas were nuked into oblivion.
Should we just blow the whole thing up?
The server went through several maps. Some were good, and some not so much. The largest and most interesting world by far was on versions 1.14 to 1.15. In fact, there was so much stuff built in this map that even OG players didn't know about everything that existed. New towns and cities would seemingly come into existence, while others would become abandoned within the span of a month, often leaving behind empty skyscrapers, and more interestingly, a lot of books. There were many books left around the server by all players, and in an effort to collect the lore of the server in one place, a library was constructed to store the original copies of all of these books. Whether it was copy pastas or legal documents or whatever the fuck this is, the library had it, and new books were found almost every day. This library was located under the spawn, by far the largest city on the server, and since there were no warps or spawn commands, it was the hub for the entire map. It was home to areas previously mentioned such as the Bass Pro Pyramid and Israel, which was later buried to make more land for shops. As spawn became more and more regulated, we had to find a place to send all of the new players. So where did we decide to send them? The slums, of course. Next to spawn was a giant swamp, so we covered it in dirt, and then we told people to build there, because it was free land. Making things worse, or better, was that there were floating islands above the entire swamp, casting a giant shadow and ensuring that the slums were always being blown up by creepers. The slums was home to some of the most unique landmarks, such as this sewer pipe, a toxic waste crater, and none other than Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage!
Which had a built-in death trap.
You better come down here, get some of this shit.
So what happened to the slums? Well, we nuked it, of course, and made it into a glorious lake. As time moved along and JSchlatt stopped streaming, there were less and less people joining the server each day, and it became pretty quiet. That is until, of course, we opened it up to the public. Big mistake. Anyone could now join the server. With spawn being unprotected, we quickly realized that this could be a problem. So we came to the decision to banish all new players, or newcomers, to a town 2,000 fucking blocks away from spawn. And we made them walk all the way. Seriously, it took like 15 fucking minutes. And they did it too. They actually walked all the way there as if it were some grand pilgrimage to the Mecca of Minecraft. The degenerates named it Simp City, and it actually got pretty big. This influx of players, however, was unfortunately not enough to keep the server active, so eventually it was shut down. And of course, how else to close the server than to blow it up?
Ha 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 ha!